maximizing your small business convention experience. Um, Today's presentation obviously is a special webinar presentation featuring myself, Angela Finding, and Adina Magda. We are the SBC conference organizers, and we would like to share some insider tips with you. Some of those tips will include how to make the best use of your time at the convention, some of the logistics issues and things like that. So without further ado, I will go ahead and get started, and I will hand it over to my partner in crime, Adina Magda.
Good morning, everybody. We're really excited about this year's convention. Obviously, with it being our 10-year anniversary, we wanted to make it extra special for our attendees. So part of that, and some of you who've been with us for all our conventions, it started off at the IX Center, and then we moved it over to Kalahari, and it was hosted at Kalahari for the past 3 years. So we decided, in the spirit of our 10-year anniversary, let's bring it home where it all started. So this year is October 21st and 22nd at Cleveland Public Auditorium, which is a beautiful space. So I'm just going to share with you a little bit more of the logistical stuff in regards to the convention, because I think it's really important for you to know everything prior to going to the convention. Because it's just so you're well prepared. So getting there. For the first day of the convention, you notice that it starts a little later than we normally do. So we are having an 11 o'clock start time versus, I know in the past we've done it at like 7 o'clock in the morning, which we will do on Thursday, the next day. But we decided, let's give people some time to get downtown. There's going to be some traffic things that are happening just because of all the construction that's going on downtown. So make sure you give yourself plenty of time to get downtown. In regards to the parking options, there's a Willard garage, which is directly across the street from Public Auditorium. So basically you could park there and just walk right across the street and enter in on Lakeside at Public Auditorium. There's also the Penton Media garage, which is on the east side of Public Auditorium. You would just, after you park, you just walk north to Lakeside and then get in on those entrances. There's also plenty other parking service lots and garages. They're all listed on our convention website. So if you just go on www.smallbizconvention.com, they're all listed on there. So you're not tied to any of these two. If you find other parking and you want to walk over and it's a beautiful day, feel free to do that. The main entrance for the convention is going to be on Lakeside. So there's going to be entrances throughout the building. I don't want you to get it confused because all those doors will be locked. Make sure you enter in on Lakeside. We'll have signage, and you should see the masses coming in that way anyway. So just keep in mind, entrance is on Lakeside. And like I said before, give yourself plenty of time to arrive. I would say be downtown by 10:30, just so you could give yourself plenty of time to park, walk over, anything like that, and some breathing room. And if you come in early, that's totally cool. We won't lock you out. So the doors open at 11, but you're more than welcome to come earlier if you want to get acclimated with the space. And I know this sounds so trivial, but a lot of people forget to bring their business cards. Make sure you bring plenty of business cards. You're going to be passing them out throughout the course of those 2 days. It also helps us out at registration. So when you walk in, just have your business card out. It's easier for our registration team to look you up in our system and get your badge printed and have you on your way. So you could go and grab your lunch and sit down and get a good seat for the keynote. So a lot of people were asking, like, what's the dress code for this? It's business casual, so anything you feel comfortable in, just wear that. The one thing I could stress is wear comfortable shoes. There'll be lots of walking. It's not as crazy as, I know some of you probably attended at Kalahari. It's not as, you know, you don't walk as much as you do at Kalahari, but there's still a lot of walking involved, so make sure you wear comfortable shoes. And for the workshop rooms, they might get cold at times, and it's hard for us to regulate. It's such a big space, so make sure you bring a sweater just in case the workshop rooms get colder. So I hate the word networking, but it's the only thing that best describes what is going on at the convention. There's so many valuable things that people take away, and probably the number one thing we've heard is that the networking at the convention is the most valuable, one of the most valuable resources that people take away from it. So we have plenty of networking opportunities for you, starting with the opening night reception in the exhibit hall. So after there's going to be a workshop that ends the convention on Wednesday. You would make your way upstairs in the exhibit hall, and we'll have some hors d'oeuvres there and some drinks. And then for those that are attending the signature dinners, we'll have a trolley service that comes and takes you from Public Auditorium to East 4th, so you don't have to worry about parking your car. So make sure you join us for the opening night reception. It's going to be a lot of fun and just a great way to network with your fellow attendees and really talk about what you learned in the workshops and talk about, hey, what dinner are you going to? Because there's a lot of like fabulous dinners that that we have for you. As far as the signature dinners, we have 4 signature dinners that are going to be hosted on East 4th. If you haven't already, my number one tip for you today is to go back in and register for one of those dinners. These dinners sell out, and they sell out every year, and I just don't want you to miss this opportunity. So I could send you instructions after this call how to go back in and alter your schedule and add them. You could add those dinners at any time. And if you need, you're going to need your confirmation code ready. So if you need your confirmation code and you need that emailed to you, feel free at the end of this the end of this presentation, Angela's and myself's email addresses will be up there. Just shoot me an email, and then I could send you over your confirmation so you can log back in and add those dinners. But those are going to be really great. They're on East 4th. We try to give you guys a nice, diverse dinner selection. So Butcher and the Brewer is more of a casual atmosphere. It's one of the hottest breweries. It opened up on East 4th. Really good food there. Chinato's more upscale Italian. Zocalo's a Mexican. You're going to have margaritas and guacamole and all that good stuff. And then Lola is obviously one of the greatest restaurants in Cleveland, my personal favorite, and that's more upscale dining. And there's costs associated with each dinner. So those would be, they range from $35 to $75, depending on what dinner you select. And then to close the convention off, we wanted to celebrate our 10 years with a convention closing night party. So on Thursday, when all the workshops are done and all the keynotes are finished, we invite you all to stay. We're going to have a convention closing party on the stage of Public Auditorium. So it's going to be really cool. It's going to be a really special treat for you all. So another tip to take outside of the networking experiences is obviously to get the most out of your workshop experience. My number one thing is to take notes. This year in the mobile app, you have the ability to, when you select the workshop you're in, you're able to take notes within the app. So it just is very organized and concise. I'm kind of an old-fashioned person, and I love writing on notepads and putting down all my notes that way. So please bring a notepad, bring a pen, and just take notes so you don't forget after the convention. Because what we try to do with these workshops is really have the presenters provide you with information that you could apply in your business when you go back in on Friday or Monday to work. Another thing that I cannot stress how critical this is, obviously for the event planners, Angela and myself, is that you complete the survey after every workshop you attend. If you complete the survey, that feedback is so valuable to us, and that lets us know, was this content relevant for your business? Was the presenter great? Would you want to see them back again? And most importantly, would you apply what you learned today in your business tomorrow? So we need that information. We are not small business owners. We are event planners. So you guys are the experts. You guys know what you need to hear. You know what you need to see. So really tell us if it worked or not, and be very candid with it. I mean, we love to see all that feedback, so don't hold back or anything like that. While you're in the workshop, please be sure when the presenters, they should allocate about 15 minutes in each workshop if time is provided. to ask the audience questions if they have any questions. Don't be afraid. Ask questions. This is supposed to be a very valuable experience for you. I know it's kind of, some of you might be shy, but make sure you ask the presenter questions because they're an expert. Pick their brain while they're there. You have them for an hour. Use it to your full advantage. And also, if you want to hang out after the workshops are over, some of the presenters might be staying back. So if you're more of the shyer type and are afraid to raise your hand, just sit back a little bit, maybe ask some questions after the workshop. Another thing is we have continuing education credits. So this is extremely valuable for lawyers, accountants, and CPAs. You earn in total 5 credit hours for the convention. So that's one workshop equals 1 credit hour because they're each an hour long. It's important for you because these accreditations are very costly elsewhere if you look for an outside resource. If you go and just attend the convention, basically sometimes the cost of just attending the convention is worth it with 5 credit hours because some lawyers pay up to like $200 for 1 credit hour. So it's extremely valuable. So where you're going to find me, I will be passing out the continuing education credits where the speaker check-in area is right outside the workshops. You can't miss me. There'll be a big sign, so you'll be able to find me. But definitely take advantage of that opportunity.
So next on the agenda is to discuss the mobile app. I'll go over the logistics of how to download that and what that will entail, but I forgot to mention in my intro that if you have any questions during the course of this webinar, please hit the question mark button in the control panel. We'll gather all of the questions and answer them at the end. And then, of course, if you think of a question after the webinar is over, we're always available via email or phone. But I just wanted to remind you, if you have a burning question that you'd like answered today, please hit that question mark button and we'll get to it at the end of the webinar. So moving on to the mobile app. I can't stress enough how important the mobile app will be to your overall convention experience. It will help keep you organized. It will help with your networking. It will just help with everything. So how do you get to the mobile app? First, you're going to download it, search for it like any other app, whether you have an Apple iPhone or a Google Android. So you'll just search for Cose Events. We named it Cose Events in the event that we have other future event apps, so we wanted it to be easy to find. So you'll just search for Cose Events in your app store. The next slide here is just showing you what it will look like on the Google Play Store. Now, our particular event will require an event code in order to enter. That code is SBC 15. It's not case sensitive, so you can do lowercase SBC, but it does have to be all one word, SBC 15. Now, for those that may have a Windows phone or a old school flip phone, nothing wrong with that, but you can still access the information. Here's the app URL, and I can certainly send that to anybody who needs it after the webinar. So one thing that in order to enter our app, you will be asked for a registration code. This is a page that I drew up here where the red circle is. It'll say enter your registration code. Now, everybody who signed up for the convention received a registration code in their confirmation email. You will need that in order to enter the app. If you do not know what that is, either Adina or myself can pull that information for you, or you can have it automatically retrieved by clicking on the Retrieve It Here. You'll see the second circle below. It says Retrieve It Here, and it will send it to you via email. So you will need that code. Once you're signed in, it will keep you signed in on your phone. But for the first time sign in, you have to have that code. So I'll go over some of the things that you will encounter when you download the app. I won't go over everything because it's pretty in-depth, but you will be able to view the attached or the overall convention agenda. You'll be able to bookmark those agendas for easy access. You will be able to add workshops to your schedule by bookmarking them or starring them. You will be able to rate the workshops. You'll want to do that, like Adina said, right after the workshops, so it's all fresh in your mind. It will be really, really important and helpful to us as we plan future conventions and future events that you guys take those it will be 5, 6 questions top, so we won't ask you to take a 200-question survey or anything like that. But also for the workshops, every speaker's bio will be in the workshop. You can take notes within the workshop in the app. You will be able to switch and change things around. Also, one of the most important features of the app will be sort of an inter-app networking option where you can actually search people, convention attendees. So for example, I am at a workshop. At the end of the workshop, I'm conversing with a woman named Adina Magda that I just met. She gives me her card. I misplace it. I don't know how to contact her. I don't know how to reach her. I can't remember anything that she said as far as what her contact information was. So, but I think I will do business with her. How do I find her? I can go into the app and I can just search for Adina. I can search for Magda, and there her information pops up right there. You can send people messages within the app. Hey, Adina, we talked outside of ABC workshop. I'd love for us to get together. Please ping me in the app so we can schedule some time to talk or have coffee. Done. So the app is really built for managing your entire convention experience. So per what my slide here says, I can't stress enough how essential it is for you to take advantage of all the information. There's maps within the mobile app. You can find exhibitors. You can decide before you even go into the exhibit hall what exhibitors and what booth numbers they are. So I will let everybody, I could talk for the next half hour about everything that you can do in the app, but I won't do that in the essence of time. However, I strongly suggest after this webinar you go in and you download the app, and if you have any questions, of course, we're here for you. Also, at the convention itself, we will have a couple Cose staffers that will be standing by to help everybody navigate the mobile app or download it if they're having troubles, but we hope that you do that before the actual convention. So we've kind of talked a high-level view of once you're there, what do you do, the mobile app and how important it is to your overall convention experience, but we also wanted to give you guys just some general useful tips, and these are tips that you can apply to any convention that you attend in the future, not just ours, but we hope that you will put some of these tips to good use during the convention this month. So number one, make your action items easy to find in your notes, and don't forget to review them after the convention. So I don't know how many conventions each of you have been to, but I've been to several throughout my career, and you get really inspired and you make scribbles all over the place and you highlight this and that, and then you shuffle all your paperwork around, and somehow or another you lose something, or you don't get back to it, or you can't decipher what you meant by a certain note. So biggest thing is make an action item from every convention, or I'm sorry, every workshop or presentation that you attend throughout the day and a half. Review those notes into whatever, review the notes after the convention, and then transfer any particular takeaways or action items into whatever you use. Is it a certain notebook you use? Is it a task management tool? And have an identifier on what those action items might be, whether you choose to highlight it in just orange marker, just those particular things, or put a big star next to them. Whatever it is, make sure it's easy for you to find and navigate after the convention, and don't forget to actually review them and put them in an easily organized place. So piggybacking off what I just said, write at least one takeaway from every presentation. Make that a priority. There will be lots of inspirational things that you hear. There will be lots of so-so things that you think maybe I have to think about it more. And then there will be other things that you definitely want to do. Make sure you write down those things that you definitely want to do from every presentation, even if it's just one, whether maybe it is to follow up with a presenter to ask them to elaborate on a specific point they made because you think it could be helpful to you. Whatever it is, write your one takeaway down. It's really important that you do that so you're getting the most out of your time at the presentations that you attend. You don't have to follow the herd. Take advantage of valuable interactions as they arise. So what I mean by that is, how are you spending your time at the conference? Is it in the most valuable way possible? If I am conversing with Adina, and it's an awesome conversation, and we can help each other in a business sense, and I don't want this conversation to fall by the wayside because I'm afraid it might lose momentum, even though a workshop is starting or an event is starting. You know, you have to weigh those pros and cons. You don't have to, just because it's 3 o'clock on the dot and something is starting at 3 o'clock on the dot, you know, you don't have to end a valuable conversation. So we want you to take advantage of interacting with people and connecting with people. Part of having a conference is the connections opportunities. It's not just the events. It's not just the networking. It's not just the educational opportunities. It's as things arise, as you get to know people, as you ask questions to each other, how you can help each other in some way. So don't be a slave to the agenda per se. Obviously, we want you to take advantage of all that you can on our agenda. However, if you are connecting with somebody in a really important way, make sure you keep that connection going. So take advantage of those interactions as they arise. Don't talk about getting together with new contacts. Actually make plans. So going back to the previous point where you're taking advantage of those conversations, if you want to continue it elsewhere because you guys decide you want to attend the signature dinner, you don't want to miss the trolley, go on the trolley together and then get your phones out and put it in your calendar right there. Let's meet for coffee next week. Make the appointment. People are there to connect with you just as much as you are there to connect with them. So actually make the plans. Don't just say you're going to do it after the fact, because odds are, and research shows, that people don't make the connections after conventions are over because they start to lose the momentum and they get back in their busy everyday lives. Organize your business cards for real-time follow-up. So Adina mentioned at the beginning of the presentation that don't forget your business cards. You would be shocked at how many people actually do forget their business cards. So A, remember your business cards again, and B, develop a system for how you're going to follow up with those people that you exchange business cards with. You know, whether maybe it's somebody, you have a star for the people that are your top tier people. I have to contact them within 2 business days of the conference ending. And then maybe you have a smiley face for others that you'd like to connect with over the next couple weeks just for coffee to talk more. Whatever that system may be, however it'll help you, make sure it's a good way to keep your business cards organized. Because like Adina mentioned, you'll collect a lot of them. There will be hundreds of people at this convention that you will meet and hundreds that you'll talk to. So create a useful system for you. So we're nearing the end of our webinar. The most important thing, have fun and enjoy yourself. There are tons of things going on. We have our signature dinners. Don't forget to register for them. That'll be fun. It doesn't have to be all business all the time. Sit back and relax. Enjoy yourself. You're getting away for a day and a half from your business. So get to know people. Get on the trolley. Come back to Public Hall after the signature dinners and enjoy the dessert food truck we will have outside of Public Hall for you. Enjoy yourself as well, because these conferences don't come around all the time and not everybody has time to attend them. So not only do you want them to be valuable to your business, but enjoy yourself as well. So as you will also see here, there's our email. We're kind of glued to our email for the next couple weeks. So, make sure that you email us. We'll get back to you within 24 hours if you have any questions. But, of course, we're always available via phone, too. So with that being said, that concludes a very high-level overview of our convention. I see that we have a couple questions in. The first one is, I'm going to go ahead and get started on questions. Please feel free to send those to continue to ask questions. So the first question is, will you send or make the slides available? Yes, we will send these slides to everybody who has attended today's workshop. Can you please repeat the code? The code is SBC 15. It doesn't have to be case sensitive. It's not case sensitive. Just make sure you put SBC 15, all one word. I need to register for a signature dinner.
I will be sending out instructions to everybody on this call to just let you guys know how to log back in and register for your dinners. I just want to make another important, some more important information available to you. If you registered for signature dinners or workshops with your initial registration, the reason why it needs your confirmation code is because when you download the mobile app and you put in your confirmation code, everything that you filled out in your initial registration, all your workshops, all your dinners, all your keynote sessions, it will all transfer over, so you don't have to go back in and duplicate it. And one more important thing about the dinner or the workshops, if you have to change your workshops and say, hey, I registered for this content marketing workshop and I really want to go to this other workshop, let's say, you know, you are free to go to whatever workshop you want, and you can make changes within your mobile app. You don't have to go back in your initial registration and change that. Just make the changes within the mobile app. We like to get a good head count to see who's going to be in all the workshops so we could like plan them accordingly, but you're most certainly not tied to what you put down in there. So if there's last minute changes arise, you see someone that's going into another workshop, feel free to walk right into that. So everything you put in your initial registration, when you put in your confirmation code, that's all going to populate in the mobile app, so you don't even have to change it if you don't want. So there's another question, will any of the CEs translate or count for PDUs? And unfortunately, no. These continuing education credits are just for lawyers, accountants, and CPAs currently. But that's definitely something I will take into consideration for next year. I feel it takes a couple weeks for the accreditations to go through, and with us being 2 weeks out, it might be hard for me to get those accredited for PDU. So I am so sorry about that, but that's definitely something I will take into consideration for next year. Another one is, are you having the stamped cards for attendees going into the exhibit hall booth, get it completed and turned in? This year we are not doing the passports. We will have other prizes. If within the mobile app, we might do some prizes within there if you complete some things. A lot of the exhibit booths, that's why it's very important for you to visit the exhibit hall. A lot of the exhibitors are giving away a lot of really great prizes. So it's to your benefit to visit them in the exhibit hall, and we strongly encourage that. So there'll be a lot of contests going on, and each exhibitor will be able to give away something. So you would just have to visit the exhibit booths to really get any prizes, because that's basically what the passport was in the past. You visit all these booths, and then we found that people were just visiting those booths just to get the passport stamp, and the exhibitors were kind of, you know, feeling like they're just passing out the stamps versus having valuable interactions. So really go visit those exhibitors. They're the reason why this convention is possible. They really help support us and really bring this awesome content, this value to small business owners. So please visit the exhibitors, the sponsors. They're there and they're helping for the small business initiative, and we can't thank them anymore.
So that is the end of our questions. Like I said, if you think of any additional questions after we hang up, please feel free to shoot us an email. We'll get that answered right away. We are 2 weeks out exactly from the convention, and we are tying up loose ends ourselves, so we know that you guys are getting excited, and please come up and introduce us. We'll be the crazy ladies running around. So we hope to meet each and every one of you and as many people as possible. And if you think of any, as you're in the convention and you think of something that you think could be constructive feedback for future conventions, please write it down and send it to us. We are very open to changing our convention in a positive way and want it to be the most valuable for you. So we're all ears when there's suggestions. So with that being said, that concludes our webinar for today. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
Bye.